is my pleasure to introduce to you the man of the hour,
Tony.
Hello and welcome back to At the Gates. I am your host. I think my name is Alex, or maybe I'm Tony. Maybe Jake or Dave. I don't know. Who are you?
My name is Alex. I frequently wear a Brian Dozier jersey with a Twins BP cap that looks about 3 years out of date.
And not Alex, who are you?
I'm Jake.
And is there anything special that we should know about you, Jake?
He loves the Michigan State Spartans.
Okay, do you think he's ever going to play for them?
Never. His football career is over.
And then?
I'm clearly Tony, and I'm a big fan of meat. So I don't know if people are aware of that, but this vegetarian vegan thing is nonsense. I love meat.
Oh, you actually mean like meat, not like man meat.
I think both, but we'll just go with meat at this point.
Well, that does sound like Tony. He's kind of a eccentric, lying, weird dude. So now that we have the microphone on kind of the man of the hour, and that would be, let's say I think you're the home run king at Target Field, are you not?
I don't think I am. I just broke your phone. Apologize. That's a really good question. I don't know who's caught the most home runs. I'm willing to bet it's probably Greg before he got kicked out, but...
Well, at least on my game balls, you're the leader.
Am I? Well, Greg doesn't go on my game balls, so I guess that makes sense. Well, that's something fun to know. All right, I'll call myself the king. We'll just throw Greg out for a while.
Heck yeah. So what's your last home run that you caught?
Last home run was, what was that, May 2nd?
Yes.
Buxton. And I'll tell you, a little ball hocking helped on that one because it wasn't hit to me. I was about half a section away. A guy, it hit his hands, bounced into his seat, and when you grab the seat and you're trying to get the ball, something happens that a lot of ball hawks know. The ball goes under the seat. So while everyone looked in the seat, I got over and picked it up as it trickled along. So that was a pretty damn lucky one.
And what makes that game special? Was there maybe a nice record that was set?
That was the Target Field record for most home runs hit, 6 in a game by the Twins, and I wish I had caught Sano's 466-foot blast in a catch. That was a moment.
Although you probably didn't want to catch it the way the lady caught it.
No, not at all. I don't get how she tried to catch that with her face, but, she'll learn.
Yeah, and it's kind of ironic that she was sitting in a place called The Catch when she definitely didn't do that.
No, and I will say, I was here when Tommy hit the one off the flagpole. That ball that Sano hit was the furthest ball I've ever seen hit at Target Field. That ball was rising when it got up there. I've never seen anything like that in a game anyway.
Especially because that's power to center field. That isn't strictly pulling it.
Deepest part of the stadium and still rising. I've never seen anything like that.
So, if I'm remembering correctly, we had 2 by Dozier, 1 by Sano, 1 by Maurer, 1 by Buxton, 1 by Castro?
Yep.
Okay.
It's quite a memory.
That's really all I've got.
And that was a fun game. I got to admit, I was hemming and hawing about going and spent $6 to sit up there for that ticket off of StubHub and saw Santana go 5-0 with a 0.66 ERA and watched that home run barrage. That was quite the fun game.
Nice. And was anyone else here at that game?
I think everybody was.
Everyone.
Yeah, that was fun.
So this is basically like a reunion.
It's a reunion of a great game that we'll hopefully repeat tonight.
Not even a 2-week reunion. That's awesome. Or wait, is it? It is exactly the 2-week reunion.
To the day.
This is the fortnight reunion.
There you go.
So, speaking of home runs and staying on this, what was your first home run, and is that one special at all too?
Yeah, that was probably the most special one. I was with my nephew at a game in 97. And
1997.
1997, yeah.
Not 18.
Nope, not, at least I don't think so. And we'd gotten a lot of games that got batting practice balls, but never gotten a game ball. And we're sitting out in left field. I remember this vividly. Molitor's up. It was Paul Molitor, by the way. And the bases were loaded, and they showed his stats at the time. He had like 200 and some home runs, but only 3 grand slams. And I thought that was pretty damn odd. And hand on the Bible, I told my nephew, I go, I go, get ready, Jason, here it comes. And on the next pitch from Willie Blair, he had a rocket right to me. Now, I'd like to claim I caught it, but I didn't have a glove, and I barehanded it, and it kind of bounced up and jumped in the seat down below and got it, and we're all high-fiving, and I'll never forget my nephew comes up to me, he's like, how did you know he was going to do that? And I said, Jason, I didn't, it was just a lucky guess. He goes, oh, you know him. Like I had told him to hit us the ball. So we had the ball, and this is before, the internet and everything else. And I told the usher, I said, if he wants the ball, he can have it, because it was his first Grand Slam as a Twin, ended up being the last one of his career also. Usher came back and said, no, but he'll sign it after the game. So we couldn't wait. The game was over. We got to meet him. He signed it, dated it, wrote Grand Slam on it. Great moment. We get home, and I had like 13 messages on my answering machine because they really focused on me dancing around in the outfield, and it was, just hilarious. So it was our, 10 minutes of fame, me and my nephew. Well, then years later, when Molitor was going to go to the Hall of Fame, I was talking to my nephew who said, we should donate that ball. So we contacted the Hall of Fame. They said they were really interested in it. I had to send them a tape and all this other stuff, and then they voted, and they said, yeah, we'd absolutely love it. So then for that, I got lifetime pass to the Hall of Fame, so did my nephew, and then we got to go to the induction ceremony and sit in the second row, and we went to a press conference and got interviewed by like Peter Gammons and ESPN, and it was just a really cool thing. And then in his induction ceremony case, that ball was featured, and it was said, donated by Jason and David Forsted, and it was really a fun time.
That's awesome. So I'm going to take a quick poll here. Raise your hand if you are in the Hall of Fame in some manner. Oh, looks. We have 2 people. Uh-oh. How did you get in the Hall of Fame? And this is Alex, by the way.
Does it have to be MLB Hall of Fame, or can it be another Hall of Fame? Then I retract my vote.
Oh, no. So we only have one person in Cooperstown.
I guess that's me. I'm pretty lucky.
Wow. So there was a question, and this will be like a circular thing that we can all answer. We'll start with the king. We talked about it before. The hypothetical question was, what type of home run or whose home run would you poop your pants for? What are some of the scenarios that you would willingly defecate yourself in order to guarantee that you caught a game home run?
Well, clearly the one would have to say, we'll just go purely hypothetical here. We'll say Sano, Game 7, World Series, down 3, hits a walk-off grand slam to win the game. Clearly that would be the one that makes me crap my pants.
For me, it would have to be a milestone ball or a first career home run. Nothing else.
Yeah,
Okay.
we do have a person here who has caught a first career home run. Raise your hand if you've caught one of those.
For those of you at home, there's one person raising their hand, and that is the person talking right now. I did not defecate my pants for that, though. Though I would have.
Almost did.
That's true.
I was standing right next to you, and I had to slap you back to reality with that because you were starstruck, and I said, Tony, focus. They're going to want to take the ball from you. And you looked right through me, and I said, Tony, wake up. They're going to want to take the ball from you. And you did all right on your bargain, although I still think you should have got a jersey autograph that said, to Tony, thank you for giving me my first Major League home run. You did well.
Yeah, I think looking back on it, I probably would have held out for a little bit more, but I think it's also paid off still because he's been super nice to me and got some batting gloves at like spring training, and then when he notices me, he'll toss up some extra balls. So maybe that's the goodwill still coming through, but yeah, that was definitely a memory that, like you said, I don't think I was fully there.
What I remember really well about that, I don't know if you remember it, but that game before, we were at the gates literally talking about what we would do if we caught Vargas's home run. And you clearly agreed and said, yeah, I think I will ask for a jersey. I remember that because I talked you into it. But like I said, you did well in your return, and I'll never forget that. It was the damnedest thing. And I will say, had you not caught that ball, had it not stuck in your glove, I was cutting around underneath you. That would have been my ball. So it was a heck of a nice catch.
Woo! Well, at least we would have had it covered on this show. So
That's
no matter
true.
what, we would be talking about this home run right now.
And you caught it with a catcher's glove, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken.
Yes.
That was impressive.
That's my lucky mitt.
It worked wonders that night. That was an awesome moment.
What would you poop your pants for, Jake?
A Klondike bar.
No, that's just not true. If there was a game home run that I would poop my pants for, it would probably be a similar scenario to the Game 7 walk-off in the bottom of the ninth for Game 7 of the World Series. Or I would have to say maybe Albert Pujols' upcoming 600th home run, which I would gladly shit myself for.
So you're more under the it has to be pretty high up, where I think you and Dave are kind of both that way, where it has to be pretty, like, respectable home run, but Alex and I are much more, I feel like we're like poopy pants whores because we would do it for far less. I think I'm with Alex.
See, the thing is, you can catch a home run ball, like, I would rather, like, crap myself for a more, like, important home run, because if you crap yourself for just a regular home run ball, like someone like Jed Lowry's 4th home run of the season, like, and ESPN covers you, oh, well, this guy caught Jed Lowry's home run and shit himself, and now you're on SportsCenter Not Top 10, and you'd be known as the guy who shit himself for Jed Lowry's home run. Like, why?
But at the same time, usually those things will go so viral that you'll become almost like a branded star, where you can start like doing your rounds on television and probably get an endorsement from like Depends or other sort of things. I mean, you kind of whore yourself out, but you do get a return.
But at what cost? Your return would be like sponsorship with adult diapers. Your runs would be like, okay, why did you poop yourself for a home run ball? Like, I can understand it if it was like a huge deal, but this was a pretty low-key home run, and you just pooped yourself. And I think in case of like going viral, it would be more like the Friday song, or like one of those just like What Does the Fox Say, where it's just hated by everybody, or you just get a ton of crap on the internet.
I will say,
Literal crap.
I will say in defense of, and I think Tony would at least be able to agree with me, when you get a home run, regardless of who hit it, you immediately get some sort of, at least in my opinion, some sort of special bond with that player. You have a statistic. You own a mark on the back of his ball card, and you get to claim, hey, I caught that guy's home run. I've always thought that really probably the coolest thing about catching the ball. All the players I've gotten a home run from, I've amassed a pretty good collection of that player afterwards, just because I thought it was neat.
I would agree, and then I think the lowest that I would poop myself for a home run would be not the car alarm going off. It would be for any Trevor Plouffe home run. I mean, he's my guy, and most people wouldn't soil themselves over one, but
I got a Trevor Plouffe one, and I didn't soil myself, but I was pleased with it. I was very happy with it.
Well, do you want to soil yourself now?
I think I'll hold off. Do you know what? Me and Alex were at that game, the game where the 6 home runs were hit. Plouffe hit one up in the upper deck that we got, but I gave it to a girl who was by far and away his biggest female fan. I don't know if you remember this girl, but she was about 16 and was nuts about him. And so she went down there and she literally was so happy she started crying when I gave her that baseball.
I think I know exactly who you were talking about.
She had red glasses on, red hair, looked about 16.
$5.35 for season ticket holders. Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
That's just me in women's clothing.
Really? But you're wearing blue glasses, you liar!
Those are my women's glasses.
It's got a point. If you can't hear this, he is currently opening up some food that he does not intend to share with.
No, he does. He baited us with this food, so I am very intrigued.
This is let's see. How can I describe this? Think of meat and then make it artificial. Not really artificial, just of different substance, but it's spicy. I almost brought some extra stuff to make it spicier, but I figured round one, we'll just start with the basics. So this spot of the show is brought to you by the Herbivorous Butcher, just located about 1.5 miles north of Target Field. The Herbivorous Butcher, serving vegan meats. They are also at Target Field at section, I believe, 129, selling 2 different flavors, the Italian brat and the Sriracha brat. Go check it out. So, what other home runs are on your list of, on your resume, I should say?
Let's see, I've caught 10 home runs, and I've actually caught 6 of them. But we'll just go quickly in order. It was the Molitor, then I got a Mauer, then I got a Angel Baroa from the Royals fame.
Former Rookie of the Year.
Former Rookie of the Year. Then I got a Jason Bartlett. Then I got a Shin-Soo Choo. Then,
which Delman Young thanked you.
Yep, that Delman Young's still mad about. Then I got Trevor Plouffe.
Never heard of him.
Then I got before Plouffe, I'm sorry, I got John Buck. It was his last career Grand Slam, as a matter of fact, too, when he was with the Mets. Then it was Trevor Plouffe. Then it was Dozier in Milwaukee. Then it was Napoli last year. And then this year it was Buxton. And I have every one of those balls autographed on the sweet spot, except for Buxton. I haven't chased him down yet.
I was gonna say you got one outside of Minneapolis, and that was the one in Milwaukee. Correct?
Yep, one outside. That was a lot of fun. That was with the family. That was my favorite home run.
Yeah.
Because we had sat down, and funny thing about that is our ticket rep, Corey, had hooked us up with a bunch of Twins gear, and had said, I told him, I said, we'll be on TV. And when I caught the home run, I texted him. I said, hey, we just caught that home run ball, and he sent back a screenshot of it and said, you've got to be effing kidding me. So that was a pretty fun time. That was a lot of fun.
I remember that. Was I also on the road? I feel like I was somewhere.
You might have been. I remember talking to you about it, but I don't remember the
I remember when that
specifics.
happened, seeing it on Twitter, and I kind of had the same reaction as your ticket rep. It was
pretty funny.
Awesome.
Right to me. Right in the front row, right to me. It was just ridiculous.
What? Do you remember the date on that one?
No.
Or month?
Goodness, I should remember that, but I don't. I think it was June, somewhere June-ish. It was the year before. Yeah, it was.
We have our stats man on it.
I believe it was June.
Not Alex.
It was the opening game, if I'm not mistaken, in Milwaukee, and it was a leadoff home run. It was his 11th career leadoff home run. That was fun because I went to the fan headquarters and had him sign it, but I got to show him the video of me catching it, and he was really cool about it, signed it, and wrote career leadoff home run number 11 on it, so that was pretty fun.
Has everyone been pretty cool about when you get their autographs from it? And
yeah, everyone was cool. The toughest one to get was Chu. I tried forever to get him, and I finally got him about 3 years ago here, and I caught that thing in 2009. And I got him here, and what was fun about that is we were yelling at him to come over, and he was right before the game, and he waved us to go down by the dugout. We're like, we can't. So finally he comes over, and I told him, I said, Chu, this is a home run you hit at the Dome. I really want you to sign it. And he stopped for a minute. He goes, oh, you almost interfered with that. He actually remembered that. And he was a really nice guy, signed it really well. And the whole time I thought he didn't speak good English. He speaks perfectly good English. So I thought that he'd be some sort of language barrier. No, he could hear me all the times I was yelling for him. He just didn't want to. But he was a nice guy about it.
So, Alex, I have a question for you. How many more games left at Target Field do you have?
This year I'm hoping for maybe 3 to 5 more.
And would you like to tell people why so few of number and maybe what's going on? It was in your blog, was it not?
It was, yeah. I'm going off to college, believe it or not.
He's going off to college.
It's amazing.
So instead of catching baseballs, he's going to be catching women and
we ask him why he didn't go to school where there's a baseball team.
Oh, that's
the
true.
problem. He's 7 hours from the closest baseball stadium.
A lot of minor league around there, right?
A lot of minor league, but this just opens up the possibility of lots of baseball road trips.
That is good news. So, hypothetically speaking, you have the ability to go on let's say a week-long road trip, and you're in college right now. Where do you go from where you're at?
I would go to Atlanta, Cincinnati, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cleveland.
Interesting. I feel like that's a really good trip, especially because you're not hitting the crazy big ones like the New York Cities or Fenway, but you're getting really good parks with relatively decent attendance. It's not crappy, but it's not overly attended. Probably a lot like ball hawking here at Target Field for the most part. Have you been to any of those parks before?
I have not. I have driven past Nationalist Park and Camden Yards, but
Okay.
never been inside.
Well, I should be able to tell you what it's like here in 1 week. My road trip begins on Thursday night. First game is in Pittsburgh on Friday, and then 5 games in 5 different ballparks. Come back next week on Friday.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, how many ballparks has everyone been to? First, you, Alex.
I have been to games at 6, and I'm going to a 7th next Monday.
Okay. Where is that one at?
Petco Park, San Diego.
Oh, I have nothing to say to you. Sounds terrible.
I think I've been to 17 parks.
And you have an upcoming trip as well, correct?
I do. We're going.
Which you guys might actually have an overlap.
Will you be in San Francisco and the Twins are there?
Yes, I will be.
What days?
Friday and Saturday.
Guess what game I'm going?
Sunday?
The only game. We get in Saturday.
Oh,
So
man.
I'll miss you by a day.
Dang, yeah, I'm going out on Thursday and leaving on Sunday. So.
That'll be awesome. I will agree with Tony. I've been of the 17 stadiums I've been to, including Wrigley and Boston, which have, definitely the history and all that. I will say that San Francisco is my favorite park. I would agree with that.
Including the Metrodome, I've been to games in 5 stadiums, but I've been inside physically 10 stadiums.
Interesting.
I've just toured stadiums mostly.
Which one has been your favorite?
To tour or to see a game in?
Either.
To see a game in, probably Wrigley, just because of the history. To tour was definitely the Seattle Mariners, because they showed us the retractable roof because we were the only group there. So we just got to sit out on the grass right outside the dugout box and watched the roof retract and opened up. So it was a really sunny day out, so that was really cool.
And then Alex, which one has been your favorite?
My favorite was Fenway, and it is also the only stadium that I've gotten a ball from outside of Target Field.
So it's kind of best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Nice. So how hard was it in Fenway for ball hawking?
There was a lot of competition. Obviously, the outfield configurations make it difficult. I ended up staying in center field on top of that pretty tall wall for most of BP, and I just got lucky.
Nice. So how many ballparks have you ball hawked at, Dave?
I think of the 17 stadiums I've been to, the only ones where I didn't get a ball were San Francisco, which I intend to redeem myself on, and Dodger Stadium. But both of those games I was, with the family and got there early, so it was going to be if I got one during batting practice, I got one, or during the game. I didn't really have the time. So this year in San Francisco, when I go down there, I'm going to see the Twins, but I'm going another night by myself when my wife and daughters are out doing whatever, shopping probably. I'm going to go watch the Royals play them, and I'm going to get out there early with the sole intent to get a ball. Even if it means jumping in McCovey Cove, I'll do it.
I will say I got super lucky out there. I put up a 7 mark, which is crazy. But if you're there super early and you're the first one in the stadium, I think you have a really good shot of at least finding an Easter egg along the foul lines.
I heard you say that, and Zach Hampel said the same thing, that you can get the Easter egg. So I intend to be there early enough to see. So,
and then in the outfield, those guys are pros.
Yeah, I've seen it. When I was there, I was heartbreakingly close. I was in right field, and we were in the front row, and a ball was hit down the line, and there's a huge wall out. So to reach the front of the wall is almost impossible. And I got up on the wall, I got my glove around, and the ball went in the tip of my glove and then smacked into the wall and flew out of my glove. So I was very annoyed with the almost catch I had in San Francisco.
You know, that's the worst one. It's just the tip.
Yep. And you get it, and no one's ever happy about that. It's a lose-lose for all involved.
Yeah. You need more than just the tip, right?
Most definitely.
And probably best to use both hands.
Yeah,
when you can.
Yeah, that would help too.
Really squeeze the balls.
Yes, absolutely. That helps.
So what other questions do people have about things?
I'm stealing a piece of this because I can't.
Uh-oh, he's going to do it.
So.
Dave just went in for the Cajun seasoned jerky-ish thing.
I have a question for our host.
Uh-oh.
That's really good.
Here's the question machine.
I saw on Instagram that you achieved double digits for the first time out here. How did that feel?
Well, for the first time in a couple of years, it felt good. It felt weird, especially because the first half of the day just was super slow. I thought I was going to get trapped into my normal 6 a game, because that's been pretty much what I've been doing for almost 2 years now, where there's no variation, which is cool. Don't get me wrong, I'll take 6 a game, which is good. But it's kind of nice to have those big days as well, and it felt good. I'm really looking forward to having my first home run ball that I can take home. I think that this is the year where I can finally do that. I enjoy the Vargas story, but there's still, it's probably like you and the Molitor ball. There's a small hole, one that you're proud of and one that you're happy that it's in a good home, but it's not a bad asterisk to have, but there is that little small hole.
Yeah, the ball's not at home waiting for you. I would definitely agree with that. What is the target field record for balls, and who owns it for balls per game?
What are my game balls? I believe that was 13, I want to say. I think 13.
What was the Dome one? Do you know what that was?
Oh, I don't know. There's not many actually logged at the Dome.
I had 13 at the Dome, but I would be willing to guess that probably Greg beat that at some point.
I don't know that.
He doesn't log anything.
Yeah, that's true.
He used to be there he'd be there hours and hours before, and he'd get throw-ups all the time.
Yep, and he used the cup trick basically out there,
They
right?
didn't let you use the cup trick at the Dome.
Okay.
I did it, and I pulled it off twice, and the second time I did the cup trick, they were going to escort me out of the stadium until I pointed out how ridiculous it was, because I was a
you were
kid.
Going to get an escort?
Yeah, I kind of wish. No, a kid had dropped the ball, and it was right underneath, and I put the cup thing down there and gave him the ball. I didn't know you couldn't do it, and they just went nuts.
Interesting. Yeah, if there's one thing that is kind of frustrating about, I feel like, Minnesota sports in general, especially Target Field here, it's the lack of coordination and communication by the staff. There's different rules depending on who's in charge, and a lot of folks think that it's stricter than it should be, and it's also unfortunate because those rules aren't written down anywhere. So you're just at the mercy of who basically calls you out on it.
It was the same way at the Dome. I will tell you a funny story about the Dome once. We were there, this is in the mid-'80s, probably late 80s, 88 I think, and Mattingly hit a game-winning home run. He hit it in the 8th inning, top of the 8th, so it cleared the baggie, and then the Twins went down in order, in the 8th and the 9th. So me and my buddy, there's a really old usher that was right at the drop-off right into center field. And my buddy kind of diverted his attention. I jumped behind the thing, and I cut and ran behind the baggie. And I looked for that damn ball for 20 minutes. And someone clearly had gone out and got the ball because I could never find the ball. And then my buddy had to divert the usher again, and I jumped back up, and we got away with nothing.
Bummer. Here it is. Drum roll.
We have a stats update on records. According to mygameballs.com, the Metrodome record is 8, according to mygameballs.com.
I do. I have a score. Every game I've gone to, I have a scorecard with what I did and who I got. So I guarantee you there's more people that got more than 8 through the years. And
the target field record as of today is 12, held by Cam Bailey.
And Zach, correct?
I don't think he got that many.
There's 11 from, I believe it was Zach. I don't know.
I think this is an attainable goal for you today, Tony.
Well, that is a good way to kind of end this show. So far, 3 out of the 4 people on this show are on the board. Since Dave was the last one here, he didn't quite get on the board yet. I have a feeling that he's going to be able to do so with relative ease once he's in there, especially when he gets up into that second deck and works his magic when Sano's going deep. Probably, third inning today?
I'm hoping Sano comes up there with Arenado, too. I'd like a Rockies home run would be all right with me, too, but we'll see. Good night for a ball game. Hopefully some balls will be traveling.
Yes. So last thing, what is everyone's goal either today, this year, or just in general for ball hawking? Do you have one?
Well, I'm not really a ball hawk. I'm more of an autograph collector. I just want, I got 1 foul ball last year. Actually 2. 1 from Plouffe and 1 from Escobar. So if I can get at least 1, I'm good. I'm not one of those guys looking for just, 10 balls a game. I just want at least 1 and I'm good.
I would be happy with any other home run the year. It doesn't matter who hits it. Just another home run would be fun. I'll set the goal pretty low.
And I'm looking to catch a dozen BP balls on the fly this year. So many I got last year. Unrealistic this year for me because I'm going to less games and I'm off to a really slow start, but that's the goal.
Nice. I think that could be attainable, though, because so far attendance hasn't been the greatest here. Twins are starting to heat up with their record, but we'll see how that goes. I think that tonight's going to be a good night, and maybe we'll have a small update after the game if something historic or large or awesome happens. Uh-oh, here it comes, and Alex does not get it. So, from Target Field, signing off, this is Tony. I am going to go in the gates now, and I'm going to pass it off to Tony after the game. Hello, a very important update here. Huge day for me. I don't say that just because I ended up with 15 for the night, which is a new Target Field record, which, awesome. I would be lying if I said that I didn't want that. I didn't think that I'd be able to get it this soon, and especially coming after a double-digit day the game before, I didn't think it was going to happen. But the bigger goal that I had was to catch a game home run, and I did that today. I think that Dave and Alex are good luck because they have been there both times when it happens. And I did it. Gerardo Parra of the Rockies hit a shot to right field and just kept blowing and going and going. And close to the same spot that I caught Vargas's home run, but a little bit deeper. I didn't have to go in that area, the wheelchair area. Just went to the side of that. As you are looking as the umpire, it would be just a little bit to the right, basically right by that stairway that goes down. I think that's section 137. And caught it on the fly, and life is good. So, new record, as well as a game home run. I don't know. This is amazing. Probably the best night that I'll have as a ball hawk, and I can't see anything topping this. It's just really nice to go send myself off to the East Coast on a game like today. So I look forward to seeing the Rockies again in Philadelphia, and expect a big blog post about this. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone who was there tonight. It was a blast, and thanks for inflating my ego a bit. And, the other cool thing is after I caught the home run, a couple minutes later, I look back and I see a guy that goes by the name of John Sharkman on Twitter. He used to be the quarterback at St. John's, and that's a local university here, and kind of a jack of all trades, wanderer, globe traveler, and kind of a cool guy that I kind of knew because of a sports writer, as well as the other guy that he was hanging out with, that being Craig Finn. Yes, one of my favorite ever musicians was at the game, and I just so happened to see him and got a picture with the home run ball and me, John Sharkman, the pseudonym, and Craig Finn. So if that isn't one of the coolest things that has happened after a game home run, I don't know what could top that. So huge night, amazing. I got to go to bed now. Bye.